hear me? They are already looking for you.
So, I finally finished Ghostrunner, and oh boy do I got quite a few things to say about it. For those who don't know, Ghostrunner is a first-person platformer in a cyberpunk setting where you play as a cyborg ninja. Your main goal in this game is to climb up to the top of Dharma Tower to kill the tyrant Mara. This game has a demo on Steam that you can check out. The demo almost sold me immediately on the gameplay. The platforming and combat in this game is solid. Your moveset consists of a wall run, a dash that can put you to bullet time, a grappling hook, and a crouch slide, which allows for a very smooth and satisfying movement system. Also, your only weapon is a katana, and oh yeah, I should probably mention, you also die in one hit. Ghostrunner is a hard game, and you're going to die a lot. I'm not joking around here, you're going to be dying more times than the increase of the divorce rate since the start of quarantine. But then again, I am really bad at this game. Anyway, most of this game's difficulty comes from the trial and error of figuring out the best way to take out different varieties of enemies in a unique arena. Ghostrunner can be very tense, but when you finally get that smooth run where everything just goes to plan and connects, it is so satisfying. Ghostrunner nails its platforming and combat, but there are a few complaints I do have. My main complaint is that the grappling hook can be inconsistent at times and will not activate. Sometimes the wall running can be a bit finicky as well, and you won't just get onto a wall. I do also want to mention that there's this one time when I was in bullet time and this shield guy just snapped and did a fucking 360 no scope on me. Something else that I wanted to mention is that Ghostrunner looks amazing, even on medium settings, while it still manages to maintain a steady FPS, except there is an occasional lag spike here and there. Although, the game does turn my PC into a damn jet engine. There is one last thing I would like to mention before going into spoiler territory, and that is that there is no moment in this game where you're not doing anything. Even when you're being fed exposition, you will be doing some sort of platforming segment. And oh yeah, speaking of exposition and story, there will be spoilers from here on out now. Ghostrunner's story is pretty basic, and most of its plot points can be predicted within the first few levels. I already knew that the architect was going to betray me some point after I had freed him. Something that I do like despite how predictable the story is the fact that Jack does question the architect's motives and doesn't just blindly trust him. Although, there is one reveal that I did not see coming, and that was what Mara's plan actually was. As you're exploring a destroyed lot, you hear a screeching. And then you see a creature run across the screen.
I'm here to save you.
Then Mara gives a speech as menacing music sets in.
And it's not going to change. Not anytime soon. We can't alter the planet, but we can alter ourselves.
That is nonsense. That is nonsense.
Then you see the kamikazes. The realization of, oh shit, this is what she plans to do to everyone sets in. I love this moment, and it is probably one of the coolest build-ups to an enemy that I have seen in this game. Also, can we take a moment to just appreciate this game's soundtrack right here? But now isn't the time to address my least favorite part of this game. The boss fights. The boss fights in this game are underwhelming, and it's mostly because of Tom.
Oh, this is troublesome.
How do I disable it?
First, you should get on top. You could probably cut it down. It won't hold without the supporting cords.
Now you bring up the defenses.
You see, my buddy Tom is the first boss in this game, and sets a standard that I personally don't think the other bosses in this game meet besides when you confront the architect. Although, there is some important context you should know before I get into details about Tom. First, I'm very bad at this game if it's not obvious from my footage. Second, I don't know when to take a break for the life of me. Tom gave me quite the beating. I would die within 15 seconds after respawning in most cases. Tom easily took me over 2 hours to beat, and the only real reason I was able to beat it is because I was forced to take a break to go get gas for the car, which calmed me down. Tom is easily the toughest thing in this game, and it made me realize the classic phrase of "get good" exists for a reason, because that is exactly what Tom forces you to do. Tom was difficult for me, but finally killing it was amazing.
Baby, that's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
As expected, it was no match.
Now, with how chaotic Tom was, I naturally wondered what the other bosses were going to throw at me to make things harder. And, well, they didn't exactly live up to my expectations. Let's take a look at the other two bosses now.
That's your stop.
GR-74 located. Kill switch component not found. Mission to
Let's
engage.
start off with Hell. Now, the concept of Hell is something I like quite a lot. Fighting a clone of yourself sounds cool as hell. Sign me up. But the way it's executed, I'm not a fan of. You're supposed to parry Hell's attacks until she runs out of stamina, and you can then get a swing in. Then Hell will jump over to another platform, throw lasers at you until you get over there, and you do the same thing over again. And well, compared to Tom, that's pretty underwhelming. I feel like there is so much more that could have been done with this fight, because as Hell currently is, she feels just like a buffed up version of that samurai enemy. Also, something that I want to mention before I move on is that my caveman brain did not pick up that you have to parry when her sword glows.
Flawless. Now for the important part. We can scan it for the missing data. Yes, it's all in there, intact.
So, do you even know what drives you, Puppet? What the endgame is? You have done nothing wrong, Puppet, but I can't let you be, as long as that demon in your head exists. You're a threat to everything I've built.
Now, the other boss, Mara, I don't have that many things to say about. Now, Mara is a very fun fight for the most part. I just think she is kind of underwhelming. But I also think that it is kind of on purpose, considering right after you defeat her, you literally go through a platforming gauntlet to kill and confront the Architect. The Architect confrontation is a pretty solid sequence that tests your platforming skills. The boss fights in this game don't really live up to what is set up by Tom. Well, I'm not exactly sure how they could, considering the fact of, well, it's Tom. Despite its flaws, Ghostrunner is still a pretty solid game that I would recommend to people who are looking for a fast-paced challenge, and it will definitely hold people over until Cyberpunk releases in 2077. While I can't say Ghostrunner is one of my favorites yet, I do see myself frequently replaying this game in the future.